What is up, CSP fam? This video podcast is dedicated to talking about principles and ideas that help you brand your business by using story-based marketing. Remember, your brand isn't what you say about your organization, it's what other people tell other people about your organization. So with some time elapsed already, let's dive right in. How does your personal integrity help your organization in story-based marketing and branding? That is a question we're going to ask today's guest. I have with me Super Bowl champion, Chief Culture Officer of Conquer Ninja Gyms franchise, national speaker, musician, and entrepreneur in business and cultural leadership, Ben Utecht. Thanks for being here today, Ben.
Thanks, John. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is awesome. So glad you could be a part of this.
No problem.
You know, we've had the opportunity over the years to kind of work on videos together, whether that's for Conquer Ninja Gyms or your own brand, Believe in Culture. In fact, with your time with the Indianapolis Colts, something that you've talked about a lot was integrity, and that was instilled in you as a player of the Indianapolis Colts. Can you kind of give us a look into the locker room and kind of what that all meant for you as a team?
Absolutely. I mean, it was such a special organization to play for because our Hall of Fame coach, Tony Dungy, was the first to win a world championship with a very unique and powerful style of leadership called servant leadership, you know, which is now, you know, really trending as a leadership style because it's built on the belief that what truly matters is the human condition. So the more you improve the human condition, the more you improve performance. That what you believe equals how you behave. Doesn't matter the industry, doesn't matter the passion. When you can identify that belief system and when you can create programming that helps you to grow and improve within that belief system, you begin to behave according to what those foundational beliefs are.
Yeah.
And a part of that was integrity, right? I remember walking into Tony Dungy's office as I was getting ready to speak to a group of young children at a school, and I said, "Hey, Coach, I'm going to go speak on integrity. How would you define integrity?" And he says, "I believe that integrity is what you do when no one is watching."
Wow.
What you do when no one is watching. And so there is a foundational belief. And now the goal is not only to define that, but to actually create application, ways that people can truly grow in integrity. And then what happens is the waterfall effect overcomes those individuals. And the more they grow in integrity, the more they begin to just behave with integrity.
Right.
And it whether if you're making a film, if you're working in finance, if you're an investor, the more you believe and grow in integrity, the more your work reveals that integrity.
Right. And that also affects the quality of the work as well.
Absolutely.
Because what you believe affects how you perform.
Yes. And if your own personal life has a greater quality, then everything that comes out of that life will have a greater quality. Your relationships, your business, and that really is the ultimate goal. Culture is the human condition at work. Every single person that has a job or a passion to do something brings with them intrinsic beliefs every single day.
Right.
So if you can tap into a belief system that is agreeable within the team and begin to actually practice that together, of course your morale is going to improve. Of course your performance is going to improve. And that's the ultimate goal.
Right. And that's basically, and what's funny is how we met. We met through a mutual friend because I'm not a sports guy, but here we are. We're
Not at all.
Not at all. And here we are. We're good friends. And but one of the things that I remember you talking about was just stepping out onto the field of that Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl, and just all the lights and just. Can you kind of talk about how integrity as a team helped get you to that point? Like, it wasn't just you having integrity, right? It wasn't just the coach saying that. Like, how did integrity help build this winning team?
So, when you dive deeper into the definition of integrity, it really is about a very high level of spiritual and moral caliber. Okay, to behave in a way that is above reproach, right? So one of the things that we talked about every week as a football team was how do we want to represent what it means to be an Indianapolis Colt? What does it mean to wear this jersey? And that really had kind of a massive impact on the decisions and the behaviors of the coaching staff and of the team collectively, right? So if we could be the number one team in the NFL that goes out and serves our community, if we can be the number one team that has the least off the field problems with our players, right? We can still go out and celebrate, but we are not the team that's getting in trouble outside of the football field. These are all examples of how integrity can kind of weave itself in and throughout a team, and all of those things work together to improve the quality.
Right. There's almost a shared personality happening when the team is like winning together, and it's a corporate personality, right? Like you were saying. That's interesting.
Yeah, like I never forget working with a lean manufacturing expert for Toyota. And Toyota is the number one car manufacturer in the world. They outsell all other car manufacturers combined.
Really?
Every year.
Yeah.
And part of the Toyota way, a part of the Japanese culture that they've replicated across all of their locations is to hold precious that which makes a person human. That's a part of the integrity of the Toyota way.
Yeah.
Is
that's powerful.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? That they believe that every single employee that works for their organization should be held precious because they're human. And then they create programs around how they can actually live that out organizationally. And that naturally then comes out in their manufacturing process. And which is why they have the success that they do today, because they live that out. And you can see that in many different organizations that do culture real well, like Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A outsells every other fast food chain in the world, and they closed one day a week.
Right.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
Because the culture that they've built, much of which is around their own perspective on integrity, impacts people's lives. People walk away from that fast food restaurant feeling better about themselves because of the way they're treated, which has come out of their practicing of integrity.
Right. No, that's good. Something I know that you've alluded to this already, but with Tony Dungy, especially like being under his leadership, something he used to say: if we build better men, and you said this already, we build a better team. So in the business world, how do we see that playing out as business owners, as business leaders? If we build better employees, we build better people. Yes, but how does that affect our business?
Yeah. So here's one of the unique differences between professional sports and the corporate industry. Is that in sports, 90% of your time is spent practicing for 10% of performance.
Sure.
Right? So we have, in the NFL, when I was playing, we had 16 regular season games. 3 hours once a week.
Sure.
But we spent Monday through Saturday in all-day meetings and practices to prepare for one day of performance. What that enables you to do is it enables you to really define what are the fundamentals and the techniques, the beliefs and the values that we need to become great at in order to win on Sunday. And so we have all of this time to practice and practice and practice to become great at something so we can go perform. In corporate America, it's the opposite. Okay? It's all about revenue and hitting our numbers, our KPIs, our key performance indicators, and we'll do that development stuff later.
Right.
And that's tough because companies are under a lot of pressure to meet those numbers and be successful. So what I would say, if we can learn anything from professional sports, it's that if you can build into your business model and plan more time to develop your employees, more time to develop your strategic plan, your culture, more time to practice, you will see results that will make up for that lost time in revenue growth.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ben. Last question here. How has integrity affected what people say about your organization and services? And does this even help you in business?
Sure. For me, a lot of this is very common sense, right? Because, why do people even post reviews? Well, they post reviews because in every transaction in life is an experience, and especially when you're dealing with people. And so every transaction that you have is an opportunity to impact another person. You're going to either impact them negatively or you're going to impact them positively. Right. And so if you're practicing a culture that celebrates and promotes beliefs like integrity, your chances of receiving a positive review significantly improve.
Right.
Because it's those beliefs that guide behaviors that connect with people emotionally on a level that actually fills them as a human being.
Right.
And a lot of this stuff is philosophical, and that's where when you get into business, it's really hard, to capture people, because I think you automatically assume that the philosophical things are kind of the fluff that doesn't actually impact the bottom line. What I experienced in the NFL and what I have coached in business is that if anything is going to impact the bottom line, it's going to be the fluff. It's going to be the stuff that is directly connected to the improvement of the human being who's doing the work every single day.
Right. Yeah. No, that's good. It's kind of like, you were bringing up the reviews, and it made me think, well, there's only 2 times people really leave reviews. And that is, one, if they had just the most amazing, outstanding experience where they can't wait to share that experience with their friends and others, and so they want to tell people about it. And 2, right, their experience was absolutely awful.
Right.
But if it was a decent experience, if it was anywhere in the middle, people don't want to share that.
No.
They want those really good experiences to share with somebody. And I think you're going to get those good experiences. You're going to get those types of reviews when you have a business leader or somebody who owns an organization that has integrity and wants to have that type of culture that is in their own organization, because that will eventually spill out onto their employees, and that will affect what your employees say about your brand, and that will affect what your customers then say about your brand.
Yeah, and the sustainability of that brand, because probably one of the top 3 most expensive issues for every business anywhere is turnover.
Yeah.
And if you really dive into the reason why people leave their jobs, a lot of times it's connected to the organizational culture. And so that's why it's so critical to take this stuff very seriously, because the more your culture improves the human condition, the more your employees are going to wake up excited and energized to be a part of a thriving ecosystem.
Right.
And then they don't leave.
Right.
And they stay, and you save money, and then you get better performance.
And that really is what story branding is all about. It isn't what you say about your organization, it's what other people tell other people about your organization. So if you ever want to change the way others talk about your brand, start asking yourself, how does the culture of my organization play into what people say about my organization? And that's all the time we have for today. Thanks, Ben, so much for being here and joining us on this podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our social media and our YouTube channel. I'm John Oney, and we'll see you next time.